Hi. You want to do this with me? To receive, we have to be open, right? So, welcome to this place. It's called Opal Oracle if you're new. I know most of you are regulars, and I appreciate that connection so much. Speaking of connections, it is Libra season. Libra rules over our one-on-one relationships. And that comes in all forms, but particularly as Libra is also ruled over by love and being ruled by Venus, I figured during this time we're going to look at romance particularly, okay? Now, of course, you can make this about what you want. Love comes in a variance of forms, right? There's friend love, agape, and eros, and all the different kinds, and you know, the one to ourselves, whether we're a good friend to ourselves, whether we treat ourselves like, oh, you know, you're married to yourself, really. That's huge. And, but I figured, let's try to just keep it in that sense. Because, you know, sometimes, for instance, our romantic energy is really awesome, but our friendships are lacking, right? Or like, family relationships are challenging, but our friends are really strong, you know, like, and wherever perhaps the imbalance, right, Libra rules over balance, wherever the imbalance is, let's try to spread some light into what is good. And because romance, which is intimate connection, plays such an important role in our lives, you know, we have to be in love with ourselves. Well, first and foremost, love our spirit, you know, love who we are in this world. And then, of course, our relationships with others, particularly romantically, because in a sense, it is one of the most intimate physically that you can have with a person. I figured that would be important, you know. So let's actually start with Libra as a collective energy. This will be for everybody. And 2, 3, 4 will take it. And of course, happy birthday, Libra. Let's see, Libra, what's going on with romance for you. You have, you are safe. You are safe. Okay. So for you, Libra. Oh, you always get a little tricky. I like it. So many layers to you. So Libra energy actually shows me, as the intention was romance, it says you are safe there. Hi. How do I explain this? All right, I used the Bosch Tarot, Harmonious Bosch. They're pretty strong cards. Let me try to just look at the image instead of like how else someone else defines it. I want to look at it myself and see what it is. I guess some of you could be concerned about finances in relation to your partnership. If you're projecting any worry into your job, I heard that's not the point. Oh, we just have to make this about love. I wanted to just make it fully about romance. All right, let's try. Let's try to keep it in what we... Okay, this is the definition of what has been decided. Let's try to stay in that decision. In your romantic partnerships, there's something about money that is important in relation to romance. It's a part of life, right? Shared, eighth house is our shared resources. I feel like for you to maybe feel more safe in your romantic energy is for you to be conscious of your money and to also have good conversations about money with your partner. Okay, that actually, you're exalted. Saturn's exalted in your sign. Loss of money, wasting money, like wasting energy. Because what we want here is to know in this present moment that, okay, you are safe. Again, you are safe. So maybe for some of you, because I feel like most Libras are really good with money also because of the way you're set up. In that, it may be that your partner may be, like, have earth energy that isn't very strong. And because of that, you have to maybe you can help in some way to have a person realize that they are safe also, that they're safe enough to do this, or that you are also a support in that. Now, I would say that if any of you are Libras where you are the breadwinner, or you are the person that's like holding all the money, and you have a partner again that just like wastes money or doesn't work hard or doesn't put in the time, and I heard, please don't enable them. Okay? Do not enable that, because, and actually, you know what I kind of see if you're in that zone is that some of you need to save your own money. People need their own bank accounts. This is interesting that money is rolling over into finances, but I guess that's life. You know what I mean? Like, romance can totally be there, but you know, romance, sex, all that energy, that gets really twisted and turned around when someone is dissatisfied in the way that a person handles, like, responsibility, right? Handles their money, handles their time, uses their time, etc. Just a minute. Interesting. Now, again, I want to look at this because it's the Baron of Coins, and in this deck, it's different. I feel like, okay, let's move forward. You are safe in relation to what you are building in your romantic relationships. You want to be safe. You want to know that you are okay. That could be one of those things where it's just like, I heard, of course, you're going to be supportive to your partner financially, in ways of your time and your money and your body and all these things. You're very giving this way. You bring peace wherever you go, right? Because I'm almost feeling this like a Four of Pentacles energy. And what is that about? Power. It's about having security, having emotional and physical security. This is a big part of how, I guess, you feel safe. Emotional. You need to rely on your partner emotionally. And you need to, it's interesting what we're talking about, what you need. Good, instead of what does your partner need all the time. If you ever do that, you're putting yourself actually in a dangerous position, financially and emotionally. So don't do that. All right, we're getting harsh. You know why? Because Mars is in Libra. We're putting it straight, and that's a good thing. And I know we're talking to a lot of folks, but the point is that when you feel comfortable in yourself, again, that you are safe, that you have your finances in order, that you can take care of yourself fully. Look, there's one flower here. This is you, right? When you know you are safe, you're so much more romantic once the physical, like, responsibilities are handled. Maybe your partner just needs to know that if you haven't shared that. And that things, again, are fair, you know? Because this could be part of it where some of you could also, say you are dating right now, or you are married or whatever in a committed relationship. This is also showing me another layer, another level. We're stepping up here. We've already gone over all these lessons of what we just discussed. Then what we're talking about is where you actually do feel really safe with a person because they are responsible and you are actually saving energy and looking forward, right? This person is putting money away. Like I heard they're saving it like for not just for a rainy day, but also like they're thinking about the future. They have to have the same future goals as you. And actually I see that in a way it is. If you are involved and you know that it's healthy, again, we just went over all the things that need to be addressed. Once that's all addressed and communicated about, it is so free-flowing. You don't have to worry. And I actually see a partner here. I see you being very comfortable. I see them being this is people that are conscious. And if for some reason you ever feel like your partner is like doing something that you wouldn't do, you'd be like, oh, that's kind of a waste, or like that's kind of frivolous or whatever. Well, I guess you could have a conversation about that, but I heard before you do, you check in where you are frivolous with your time or money. Like, check yourself. And I do feel like it is extremely important to have you rule over fairness. And as Saturn is exalted, again, there's a long intro here. This is for everybody. We live in a world with money and with bills and with tasks that need to be handled. We don't have to plow the field anymore and grow our food so that we don't die over the winter. We can just go to the grocery store and that's cool. But eggs are a dozen eggs is now $7. It's just like, it takes a lot of time and money to do things now, right? So I guess it could be for some of you letting go a little bit of control in a way. And you know what? Regardless of, okay, you're involved, right? You have this romantic energy. Virgo gave this lesson a long time ago. The best way for you to feel safe in a relationship, to feel comfortable, is to, whatever the bills are, whatever the things that need to be handled in the house, whatever, all the responsibility parts. Libra's very responsible. Specifically financially, you make sure that you could handle that all on your own. And then there's never really any codependency. Now, of course, you want to have a partner that also has this same kind of awareness where they, because for instance, say someone gets in a tough spot, that's what a partnership's for. Romance is not just, it's interesting that usually romance is so lighthearted, but this is like it's more serious in the sense that, like, because I feel like a person has to have all these conversations to be able to even have like intimacy in a physical way, and all of this. You could that interesting, Libra. And I heard it has to be fair. If you're with anybody that doesn't, like, you got a loser that doesn't work. You got somebody that just like is always asking you for money, or like whatever, like you're handling the scales way off. That is not your person. Get out. If anybody hides you away, you're a sweeper, if you will, or you're just like that nighttime sleeper, like you're like that part-time person. No way. You deserve so much better than that. And if you have, for instance, some of you lost your way in your relationship and it's been a very long-term relationship, there may be some discussions that need to be had, and hopefully no one takes offense. And if for some reason someone is too defensive and they're like, I don't want to deal with this, I'm out of here, and they just like whatever, then you'll just know that things, that you have support also. You need to have support outside of your intimate partnership also, right? Your friends, all of this. Like, that's key. Interesting. All right. I guess we'll keep going. That was a long intro. Is what it is. Actually, can we see... All right, we just had a like a 15-minute, like say like a 10-minute conversation about that. That's not that long. Let's see after that what happens with romance, because what this is foundational energy about what you accept or what you want or what makes you feel safe in a romantic partnership, right? Because it's all, you always get out of the honeymoon period, right? I mean, you can keep that honeymoon period going, but what do we have here? I heard also, don't worry about... Well, there could be something about a change of scenery, Libra, in relation to romance. I feel like you don't want to... Try not to give a shit what anybody else thinks or talks about your romantic partnerships. If you believe in it, if you trust it, if it is... You know that that is true and good for you, then... And you're not ignoring anything, you want to be very conscious, then... What happens is, look at this, you end up with start anew with the Lover's card. You know, maybe what we just talked about there for some of you was also like we had to blow off like that steam of whatever the having appropriate judgment calls about who you involve yourself with romantically also, or how, again, the responsibility rolls into romance, right? Interesting. Because that may put some new energy around something, or also perhaps even prepare some of you for whatever this romantic energy is coming in. I mean, maybe some of you needed to gain your own power, you know, and realize that you were safe enough to leave something in the past that was, you know, if you haven't already. Well, I heard that song. Let's keep dancing. Let's break out the booze and have a ball. If that's all there is. Give yourself the best. Okay. Trippy. You know, maybe some of the worry, too. We're going to keep going. It doesn't matter. Maybe some of the worry that was... I feel like some of you had to gain your own security. Keep seeing that. You had to realize you are safe. Once that happens, something new happens. And that is where, look, this card actually says trust. Can you see that? Probably not. It says trust and romance and love. So for some of you, if you're not here yet, then this will be coming to you, starting anew. Maybe some of you, it's a couple months from now. Maybe it's a couple, yeah, whatever. So, you know, that South Node going through Libra, the end degrees is going to, if any of you are in a unhealthy relationship, any of us, K2 is going to suck it out. It's going to burn it up. It's going to turn it into ash. If that's already been done, especially if you took those steps, and I would say this would probably be from like something about February and April, like, you know, a good 6 to 8 months ago, right? We go in the cycle. If the things have been addressed and you made some conscious choices about who you are as a person and again started to feel more secure in yourself, there's something so awesome and new energy around your romance right now. Could even been over the last few months. It's been kind of building, you know. And remember, a divine partnership is when two individual people hold their own. They love themselves. They handle themselves. They handle their responsibilities. They are in love with themselves. They treat themselves as a good partner, regardless of whether they have one or not, or how many friends they have, or whatever. It doesn't matter. That in and of itself is going to, that creates two whole people coming together, and what's in between there. Spirit is aligned with that. And it, because look at this. Do you see how before you are safe was this little butterfly with its wings closed? Then after we have that whole big discussion, now 20 minutes, it's about making appropriate judgment calls, waking up to the new day with new attitudes and like good energy. And there's some transformational energy here that's so beautiful, because look, now butterfly opens. All right, well, I guess that was I guess that conversation needed to be had. You know, you'd think sometimes like romance is so like la la la, and it is. It is. And that energy is totally possible, but like in a long term, for romance to become something where it is a person that you respect. Oh my God, Libra, we talked about this before. You're not supposed to have anybody in your life that that you don't respect, business or otherwise. Nobody who schemes, nobody who masks anything. What you want is togetherness, right? And finding that perfect balance. And I know that you can. And actually, you know, again, it's interesting that we had to have this kind of, look at this future potential card. Love it. This feels like Aries energy to me. It's like really strong. And then we have Capricorn, the sea goat. That was good collective energy. Thank you, Libra, for teaching that lesson, right? If this was just through Taurus, it would be like, ooh, they're so sexy. Like, I love their body, blah, blah, blah. It's just like, okay, yeah, sure. But how are they as a long-term partner? You know, how fair is it? No one can hold all the weight all the time. Hello. So that's cool that you touched on that. Thank you for teaching the collective that energy. Because you know what? Here's the King of Vessels, which is all about a fair man. You know, this is about fairness. And gathering blessings through hard work. Interesting. Okay, now that we've done that, let's actually, okay, where do we go now? Should we go in order? No. Who's next? 23. Pisces. What do you have, Pisces? So we're talking about romantic energy. You have putting others first and then talk to God. Interesting. Just a minute. So this shows me in your romantic energy that you are willing, that a person is willing and very conscious of other people, and hello, hold on. Hey, Chippy. It's interesting. Put others first in this talk to God. Okay. I guess this is a good... Okay, here's an exercise in ways of your romance wherever you are on this path. And I heard, and wherever you will be. I see it is very easy for you, for a person here to put others first. I also see someone here has a very strong spiritual space. And that's important. I would also say that because you are such a giver, someone here is such a giver, that I guess perhaps you'd want to talk to God. If you're, let's put it in a few different ways. If you are the super giver all the time and you know that's you, where again you put others first a lot, don't forget, you got to make sure that God is in that equation, whatever that is to you. Meaning, you to your higher self, you giving space for yourself. You know, because this is kind of like together and this is alone, right? And actually, that kind of makes a healthy relationship, right? We can't like overdo giving. Now, let's turn these around. Let's say talk to God as first, then put others first. So talk to God, then it's about giving to others. So I guess maybe a question. It's very interesting energy that's coming through here. I guess we're in Mercury, so it's a little trippy. Hold on. Well, some of you have been asking for a partner, right? You've been praying on that. Wishing on that. I feel like those of you, you'll know when it's your person, because they'll be in your friend circle. They'll be like a friend of a friend. Or you may know them, but they may know your friends better, or something like that. Like somebody knows somebody like that. I heard that sentence where it's just like, you know how they say, oh, you know me better than I know myself? This is more like a person really knows, people really know who they are, because they've taken a long time to figure out and sit with who the heck they are. They did a lot of praying and like a lot of like solidification of like, because this lines up with you are safe, right? So it's feeling comfortable in your own body. It's feeling comfortable with your own spiritual space. It's being comfortable in your own spirit, your soul. And like, what is that? Like, what is a soulful relationship to you? You know, remember your true love only, right? In that reading, you had to get rid of those relationships and people, or definitions of like where you accepted abuse, right? Or easily were manipulated or whatever. But then apparently something happened there. Because you know what I'm almost seeing this as, this energy here, if we don't look at the words, we just look at the image. This is also a partner who is very giving. They pay attention. This is a person that pays attention. They're very helpful. They are independent. They are faithful. They have faith in you. You have faith in them. Like, it's fun. You know what I mean? And you also have like your own, you have things in common, but you also have like independent things that each of you do that the other one isn't like good at all. Like, or it isn't their strong suit. You know what I mean? And there's no judgment about it. And I do see that someone's really been practicing here, like trying to figure out what this give and take energy is. And because especially I see whoever is the giver also has to learn how to receive, you know. And you know, the way you'll know too who your person is by the way they treat other people. You know what I mean? I heard you don't need anybody with enemies. You don't need anybody with like, how do I explain it? Well, you're a really gentle spirit, right? And most of you here, you're very independent, right? Been taking those little steps towards finding your strength again. And you know, this could be one of those things too where, again, a person has been asking for a long time to be the person, to be the person that they need to be to find the other folks in their life that they're looking for. Now, as again, this is romantic energy that we're looking at. Some of you have received your wish. And if you're not here yet, then you will. I guess it's and God, you know, to me, spirit is whatever we have invested in your spirit. Whatever your spirit is. You be courageous in that. I would also say the person that you're meant to be with also has invested greatly in their own spirit. In the spirit of life. Like, they would be a really giving person. You know? Because I keep seeing this being like, do you need, like, can I help you? And it's like, no, I got it. It's like, they're independent. And I do feel like your person also, because whatever your strong suit is, this is very interesting. Whatever your strong suit is in ways of your loving nature, the way you love, right? It's almost like their language of love is very similar. So it's kind of like that has a lot of beauty to it, but it also may be a learning lesson where you could end up being with a person that is actually very, very soulful for you, where generally you're, like, say you're the one, again, that's always putting others first and, like, trying to be that to somebody, what they need. And that's, honestly, that's a beautiful thing. It's very kind to be a kind person. But it's almost as if this person will do things for you that you usually would do for them. And so it's learning what that is. It's like this person will teach you how to receive also. But don't lose yourself ever when you do find this relationship in ways of... because there's no jealousy here either. There's no, like, possession. The put others first energy, this helper energy is not trying to manipulate. Or it has any trickery around it. It's very genuine. It's very genuine. And if you are single and you're looking more for romance in your life, please continue to talk to God. And also please look at how you receive. It was just 3333. All right, let's look at Taurus. Taurus. See that? Taurus, what's up with your romance, Taurus? You have clear the fog and have fun. So some of you may be in a transitionary state in ways of romance right now. Hi, Zumi. Maybe some of you are grieving something. Or you have to come to terms. Some of you have to come to terms with... okay, what did we just say there? Most of you have been here a while. When Zumi shows up, I'm so glad she's with us. Zumi died in February. I cried every day after that death. It was wicked hard. It was the most purest love I ever known. It was the longest, healthiest relationship I ever had. Honestly. And it took a long time to clear that fog. For me personally, it took about 6 months until I finally was at a stage of whatever. So if you've broken up recently or you're dealing with some kind of separation of something, Could be in another area of your life. It doesn't have to be romantic. There's something that probably needs to be cleared. Then where we end up is have fun. Now, I suppose if you're clearing the fog, part of how it may be helpful is also to find other people who are going through the same things, the same changes as you, or being conscious of that. Like, you're not the only one going through that. And that it will clear itself, okay? And be fun again, be bright again. Look how sunny this card is. Look at this Good Time USA right here. So, I guess this could also show a little bit of uncertainty with Taurus energy about romance right now. Like, because clear the fog here also is showing that, like, there's something about in ways of romance that you can't see just yet. It's a little foggy, right? So if you're in an in-between stage, say you're not dating anybody, or again, you're transitioning from one stage into this new, maybe some of you are prepping for something. In that setting, then I see, please continue to be an individual. Go do your own things. You know, go for a walk. Maybe you'll meet a new person. Maybe somebody else, again, has something in common with you that could be helpful. And that could also be, you know, you want to do what is fun to you. Okay, what is fun to you? You know, it doesn't have to be what is fun to your partner. It's what is fun to you. That's important. And maybe a bit of it is like, I do feel like some of you, there's an ex or like some past experience for some of you Taurus folks. Again, in ways of romance, we're talking about like, there's something here that's like fading into the background. Okay? And I see there's no point in trying to like run into the past. That is not going to clear it. Okay? And maybe what, like we talked about in the beginning, there are different levels of love. If romance, for instance, for some of you is a little foggy, then go do things with your family. Go do things with your friends. Go do things independently, again, that are just fun for you. Again, you may meet a new person. It may just be a new friend. And that may be something that like opens up a new energy that helps you to also work through what you're working through, you know. Because I could almost see where some of you, this is where like somebody, again, like somebody, there's some separation here prior. And then what happens is finally a person's like, wherever they end up in this have fun card, it's like when other people look at this person now, they're not like, oh, they don't look at them and be like, oh, wow, like, they just broke up with somebody, or like they're so bummed out, or like they're grieving, or it's like you can't tell someone's pain and suffering. But this isn't because it's hidden. That's not the point. It's because it's healed. And there is something here about like, I actually rode one of these recently with my niece. With my two nieces. It was adorable. And I hadn't been on a carousel in such a long time, and it was so much fun. It was so much fun. So maybe there's like a carnival or like some kind of fun like event that would be fun to get out. I wouldn't isolate too much, because you're also not going to meet anybody if you're single like that also. Okay? And even if you are ever dating, whenever you're dating, please always do your own thing. If you ever just constantly like try to get into, you have to do your own thing. Okay, let's leave that like that. Who's next? Gemini. Gemini, what's up with your romance? Invest in your spirit and be courageous. Well then, who had that Pisces? Good, that's your square. All right, Gemini, what's up with your romance? Oh, some of you don't even care. You're like, whatever. It's not, that isn't, this is interesting. Okay, those of you who are single, I feel like you're happy being single. It's cool. You're like really working on yourself. You're feeling courageous in that. Like, it's actually really, really good energy because you've been weeding and like getting things out of the way and feeling more confident about love. And where's that going towards? Oh, awesome. However, you've been investing in your spirit, meaning recognizing your own power, recognizing your own beauty, again, weeding out the bullshit out of life, right? Moving forward, feeling confident, learning about who you are, like feeling good about being single also. Well, look, I was wondering where this horse was going. Do you see where they're going? Look at this couple standing on top of this beautiful mountain with this wonderful expanse, this beautiful energy. Holy smokes. And it says turn on the light. So if you're single right now, again, please continue to invest in your spirit and be courageous. Once you find, again, we're going to repeat a little bit. Once you find, again, that comfort, it's like Pisces said, you feel good in the aloneness, and then you finally are like, yeah, I think I am open. Like, I feel good in myself. I feel brave. I feel confident. And you're not in a hurry. Then you end up in this partnership anyway that is so beautiful that like turns on some kind of light for you in your, I heard, in your soul, your heart and soul. That's just like, it's like your person. You know, this is like something that really would be like, okay, this is the one, like that kind of thing. Now, if you're already involved and you have invest in your spirit and be courageous, well, then again, continue to be independent in your relationship regardless, but not so much so that well, I guess that you're blocking anything. Now, I would also say that it could be that, okay, your person, you're going to know, this is interesting, you're going to know your person because they want to, when you want to, a person wants to invest in something, right? Like, I want to invest in this situation over here. This is a good investment, right? I heard it brings good dividends. Like, what you put in, you actually get more back. It's one of those things, okay? That's when you'll know. Because I heard they help you spiritually. They believe in your spirit. They believe in you. Like, you support one another. You'll know because it's just like, you know, it's interesting. I keep looking at this one. This is going to be a long reading. I keep looking at this one too. If this is your partner, they obviously, someone probably has fire significant in their chart. I guess they could be fire rising with this wand here, maybe, or there's something about Sagittarius, Jupiter energy that's important. But it could almost be where, like, you have a confident partner that helps you be courageous in the things that maybe you feel a little bit weak about. Like, again, they help you to feel more confident about investing in more long-term things. Like, maybe they help you to see like different things that you can't, in a way, or at very least they're like, you can do it, you know, like they're super supportive. But I almost feel like there's a little part, I don't know if this is you or them, I'm feeling it's more like them, like where they are courageous, but like sometimes because of her posture, like I almost feel like someone here kind of lacks courage sometimes. So maybe there's a little bit of low sun. So what is that? Taurus, maybe Taurus, Cancer, Libra, Aquarius could be a part of it. So they also need your support. You know, this is interesting too. Look, it's like planting these. Look, so someone planted this tree many years ago. And then it grew to this big. And then a couple years later, they planted this tree, and now it's this big. And now they're planting a new tree right now. So however, again, you have invested, it is putting you on the right path. And again, you go right towards that couple. And you know, that couple's on a mountain, which is Saturn, which is really long. This is a long-term commitment. It's not, this isn't like I heard this isn't a sexual conquest. This is not like some just have fun, quote unquote, thing. You can have a lot of fun in it. I'd say that there would be some of that. You're a pretty fun sign, but it's like, it's different than that. It's different than that. And maybe a part of that you'll know also that this is your person is that where your partner has humility. Like they actually are really good at things. They know sometimes that they're good at things, but they're not like cocky. Do you know what I mean? They don't think they know everything, and sometimes they need your guidance, and they respect your mind. They respect your opinion. They trust where they're going, but they also like want your thoughts on it. You know, they'd be like, hey, like I know, like, because this investment isn't just singular. Because this, I heard the spirits are combining. Huh. Fascinating. All right, let's keep going. Okay. Who's next? Cancer. Oh, I hope I can remember what signs I'm doing. Cancer. Interesting. So in your romantic energy, you have decide the outcome and stop. Cancer. So some of you have to stop thinking about an ex, or you were recently divorced. Now, all right, Cancer, for romantic energy in this time frame, decide the outcome and stop. Well, I guess it's stop deciding, stop trying to, okay, this sounded so harsh, sorry. It was like really sharp. I heard mental correction. So, some of you feel like you're the decision maker all the time. You're the one always making the decisions. Some of you also could be projecting a lot into the future. And when you do that projection thing where you're like, well, this is the way it's going to work out anyway, or like they're going to do this, or they're going to do that, or it's going to end up like it did last time, or da-da-da. It's like this negative talk. Please stop. That is not helping. Look where this goes. If you project too far into the future in ways of thinking it's worst case scenario, look at these penguins. Here's a shark. Don't go jumping in that. You don't need to jump into the future. You want to be in this present moment. I also feel like who and what is like decision making in your romantic partnerships? Who makes decisions? You know, it's interesting. Gemini, the sign before you, just talked about how it's a dual energy, right? Both partners are responsible. Both partners make decisions. What's going on with this one? Let's look this up. Hold on. We're taking our time with this. I can't rush. There's no way to... I heard there's no way to rush this. It's not worth it to rush it. Wonder what orange is. I feel like they're color coordinated, so like what? What does that mean? Does it explain it? Nope. 47 and 34. 7-11. Oh. I'm almost seeing this like, okay, you're not the one that can decide the outcome. I'm seeing this as spirit. This judge as like this higher level energy. So that is the one that's deciding the outcome. So for some of you, you have to stop thinking about like, well, I heard, oh, I'm not doing it right, or whatever. There's something, I heard there's something higher and universal in relation to what's going on right now, in relation to romance. And if there has been any outcomes, if you will, whenever this has been, because I'm almost feeling Taurus energy for you too, where like maybe some of you again, where you're getting divorced, or where there's something that has been finalized in some kind of way. This may be a stage for some of you Cancerians that you're just supposed to stop and accept more of where you're at and be okay with that, and check in more with your communities. Okay, all these penguins together and like where your support systems are, that may be helpful. Maybe for some of you Cancerians, this is not a time for romance exactly. And if you are involved, again, you want to not, please don't project into the future, or be, because some of you have to learn that you're not the one that's making all the decisions. You have to have, you want to, I heard you have to, and you want to have people in your life that, well, you trust their decision making. Now, I suppose if you're the one where you're always putting the decisions on someone else to decide the outcome, to make decisions, you also have to stop that and make your own decisions. It depends where you're at. Okay, this is the message from Spirit here. Decide your outcome. Decide the outcome. It says the greatest expression of Spirit is to fully embrace your creative power and to use it. The ego denies that you have any and falls into the trap of feeling like a victim. This leaves a person with a sense of feeling hopeless, at the mercy of fate, and without a choice. Spirit, on the other hand, not only knows that it is a divine creator, but it also actively directs your creative power every day towards satisfying goals. The simplest way to support this process is to decide the outcome of your intentions before you begin. For example, and I know this is not romance related, but we're reading out of the book. For example, rather than hoping that you get a new job, let's change it. Rather than hoping that something changes, you decide that it will, and it will be delightfully satisfying to you. Instead of praying that romance will find you, you decide that you will love and be loved fully starting today. It says plan your future based on your decisions rather than dreading it based on your fears. Visualize how your goals will manifest. Expect good things to come and know that they are on their way. It says leave hope and wishful thinking out of it, for these two are manipulations of the ego to keep you doubting that you can anticipate success. As a creative and holy being, intend Intend what you want and expect it now. Okay? Now, I want to read this because I feel like this is relative to somebody needs to hear this. This stop card. Because what did this say about the ego? It says wishing and hoping is a manipulation of the ego, right? The ego manipulating something from stopping oneself. This stop card says that the ego can run wild with confusion and cause unnecessarily stress and actually lead you in the wrong direction. Presently, a person may be at risk of overreacting to things and therefore could make poor decisions. A person can feel threatened, defensive, angry, or even feel the need to try too hard to please others. It says, in spite of appearances, you are causing your greatest troubles and no one else. Whether it is projecting, reacting, defending, or overcompensating, nothing your ego is doing at the moment is serving your highest good. Although it wants to be in control, it's time to turn command over, here we go, to higher forces and quit forcing your personal agenda. So, it says take a deep breath and come back into your spirit. Ask spirit to calm you. And even for a bit, do nothing. You can still make the plan. You can still say to yourself, I will be in a beautiful relationship where there is a bunch of romance. Or again, maybe some of you need to learn how to love yourself. I don't know. Depends where you're at. So there's a little push and pull with you. Now, let's fast forward a little bit. Those of you who are in a relationship, again, please remember not to project, because I feel like there's some kind of fear that's being projected into the future, like way too far into the future, and that needs to stop, because it would be more of being in this present moment. Again, if you're already involved, this is where decision making comes from the two in the relationship, the partners in the relationship. You trust in the person in their decision making. You admire and respect their decision making. And if you happen to be the person that you lean a lot into someone else having those decisions, this would be maybe voicing your opinion. Again, it depends where you're at. Some Cancers are very controlling. No offense. It's the most masculine to me of the water. So Cancer can be very like wanna be top dog. It's like high matriarchy kind of energy. But a relationship is about two people together and working together and having, like Libra said, an equal partnership. And again, whether you're committed or you're single, this is also, remember that spirit is involved in this and it wants you to like slow down some way, somehow. Maybe some of you need to detox a little bit. That could help you. And maybe I see, look at this, just laugh and thank God, right, for whatever it is. Because I do actually see some folks are very patient right here, and it's probably more who are who are in a laughter zone and who are thanking God for where they're at. That is how open your heart. That is how a person is readying themselves or feeling more confident in what is happening right now. Interesting. All right, let's keep moving. Your energy is always a little heavy in Libra time. All right. Overthinking, right? So, who's next? Capricorn. Thank you. What you got going on, Capricorn, in your romance? Let's see. Look forward. Fucking right. Look forward. What else you got? Detox. Okay. Maybe some of you meet somebody. I guess you'll know your person when you go on an independent journey with yourself. You say to yourself, I'm going to go here. I mean, it could have to do with other people. You could be like, oh, I'm going to go meet up with those friends, you know, or I'm going to go see a family member, or I'm going to, whatever. But like that independent, you may meet someone. I also feel like, you know, your person will also be either a person that is sober or they are very conscious of, they're very health conscious in a certain way. Like, they understand their body. They understand, like, I would say that even if they drank, they didn't drink a lot. They don't drink a lot. They don't have, like, addictive personality. You wouldn't have that. For the most part, at least I see in ways of, like, drugs and alcohol. Interesting. What's this one? Let me tune in a second. Oh, this is so much lighter than Cancer energy. You're opposite. Holy crap. This is great. So you're the confident one here. This is a very confident person. So some of you are single right now. Let's take it in a few different ways. So some of you who are single are actually like really happy in that zone and have been doing this a while. And now I feel like you're looking forward to romance. And part of what I feel like you could be detoxing if you're in this stage is you're actually detoxing your singlehood. You're detoxing, like, you have detoxed, if you will, or released this toxicity in relation to some previous relationships, perhaps. I got a bug bite. I also feel like your person, like, really loves, like, greens. Like, they really love greens. They've hiked mountains before, too. You give more. We got a little pine tree with pine cone. Interesting. Oh, this reminds me of the Capricorn reading for October, where it was like releasing something in this red, like, root chakra. This red-orange kind of energy. So some of you did release something really beautiful, and now you're, like, readying yourself for something. Cool. Okay, let's look at it as if you are in a relationship. I feel like this is a clean relationship. I don't know if I'm explaining that right, but, like, meaning it's not messy. This is not messy. This is also, the people in this relationship are independent. I would say they also, each, you and them, have also been single for some period of time, or at least have, like, gone out and did their own thing for a while. Again, like, I heard maybe figured out who your friends really are. Like, perhaps, like, they don't have a bunch of, like, hang-ups in relation to, like, the past. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's cleaned out. I would also say they are very patient. It's very patient. I see very patient energy. This isn't someone who's in a rush, right? You can't rush a detox. You can't rush walking up this mountain. So whatever this relationship is also slow building. And I feel like this is right in your wheelhouse, this being a mountain. It's like someone that you would trust to lead. It's also someone who trusts you to lead. Again, I see they would not, they're not like defensive. They're really chill. It's like, but there's a little bit of dual energy. Like, because I see like a vegetarian over here, but I see like a carnivore over here. It's like they understand people understand their animal nature, but they're also like their wildness, but they're also like have this soft domestication about them. And I would say that they're very clean. Again, like you would know, like you'd go in their house and it's like tidy, like they like wear the right footwear. Do you know what I mean? They don't go like putting their flip-flops on in the winter. they don't wear high heels to the beach. You know what I mean? It's like they although they may be a little bit of a rebel in some kind of way, like, oh, awesome, and then you totally like they celebrate you. Like they celebrate you, like they know how to have a good time, but they also really enjoy their own company. You know what I mean? It's like, I would also say you'll know who your person is because they also like, well, they have the same, this look forward card, they have the same like life, like the way they view life is similar. In ways of, say, like morals, I heard music, food, like basic things, right? Like it's kind of weird when two people eat like complete, right? Like a vegetarian and a carnivore. It's like, it'd be hard to have dinner together. You know what I mean? So there's something here where you'd know that it would be slightly similar in this way. And I would also say that they are in your circle some way, somehow. Those of you who are single, you're gonna find this person. I feel like it's something about Leo, it's something about Aries. Oh, so they make you think differently about who you are too, to an extent, but in the sense where like they help you with your ego. And like I feel like when you find this person, you're gonna be like, oh my God, thank God. Like, I am so thankful. I am so, like, accept love. Yes, it's like what you do is so appreciated. What they do is so appreciated. It's like, you don't ever have to worry about, like, you know, because another thing I see here is so trippy. Another thing I see here is where, like, your person will also be like, somebody in this equation is like, and I would assume both to some extent, because again, it's like the way you view life and your future goals are similar too. They have to be. It's not this, it's this, right? But it's where, like, say someone's like, oh, I'm gonna go camping, like I'm going on this trip by myself, like I'm gonna go camping by myself for the next like 5 days, you know, or I'm going for like a week here by myself to go hike this mountain, or like to go see whoever or whatever it is. And they're like, there's no jealousy, there's no like control over it. It's actually like both are not very independent, like where it's overly so, but like they have their own lives. Do you know what I mean? Gemini had this too. And apparently that's what also brings each other together. Oh my God, look, you make it to the top of the mountain. Capricorn, when you make it to the top of whatever this winding journey is, that some of you can't see this yet, but where you end up is at the top here. And you find your person. Awesome. So look forward. And if you're already involved, oh my God, this is such, again, I keep seeing it. It's like a clean relationship, meaning, I guess that means something like there isn't a bunch of shitty karma in it, like bad karma. It's like because of your endurance, because of your hard work, because of your journeying of yourself, because of your cleaning of your own spirit and like trauma or whatever, like we talked about in October, it's like I heard, here you go, here you go. Wow. All right, who's next? Sagittarius. Just a minute. It's not those ones. I have to shuffle. Hold on. Sagittarius. That one. Speak with love. What's the next one? Speak with love. Celebrate you. So Sag, what's going on in your romance? Oh, I just got a headache. Hold on. Something about Italy and France. So this is, so for some of you, this has to do with somebody from like a different background. Like they come from a different, well, those two are kind of close, right? So like a part of your person's ways of romance, they come from a different place. Again, it could be like Scotland, Ireland, you know, be like Ghana, Kenya, whatever. It could be like where, but it could be, how do I explain this? Maybe someone's attracted to somebody who is a different nationality. Or maybe they speak another language, like a different language. Tell the truth. Oh, some of you could also be attracted to your opposite. Like whatever, say you're Sag, would be like a Gemini. You know, Leo's, Aquarius, etc. There's something about the opposite. But then there's also this togetherness again because they're right next to each other. What are we doing? We're doing like prayer hands, right? So again, speak with love shows a couple. So maybe for some of you, if you're involved right now and you've been together for a long time, maybe some of you, it would be wise to like have somebody maybe some people need counseling, relationship counseling. There's somebody in here may need that. This could also be learning your love language, Sag, could be really helpful. I would also say your independence is very important, but we also talked about that this month where if you are an independent person, then you want to make sure you reel that back a little bit because I heard your partner needs you too. Okay? Clean up your mess. Let's see. Say I'm sorry. You know, I guess to enhance your romance, you got to make sure that you're taking care of yourself. And I would say I would make sure, because to me, Sag is very partner oriented. Once you get involved, you're like really involved and it kind of becomes one of your main focuses. And so, and I know that's super important to you, and well, why wouldn't it be, right? It's the person you're around most of the time. That is important. And of course, sometimes what happens though, when we're around the same thing all the time, we kind of can at times like lose appreciation for that, or be a little bit short in our speech or things like that. If you're in that zone, again, say you've been married a long time or you got kids or whatever, it's like, you know, make sure that you are greeting each day as if it is new, right? Maybe some of you want to look at life, say you are single, it would be like just greeting the day beautifully. You know what I mean? Like waking up at a good time, like this is morning routine stuff. Maybe some of you also, interesting, you have reclaim your art. So maybe some of you also need a hobby that would help to be something that's outside of your relationships, could also help you to blow off steam or to just to keep things more fluid and loving. I would also say that you will know your person by the way that they speak to you, right? And I feel like you'll know when they speak really lovingly and that they do celebrate who you are. You know what I mean? And I do feel like, again, I keep seeing it where some of you are in a relationship already. I know not all of you are, but we're gonna guess, okay, regardless, let's say we're going into the future, even if you're not, well, apparently you end up, I'm seeing this as somebody who got married and they're on their honeymoon. It's like, regardless of, well, actually, some of you, if you're already married, maybe you need to reestablish your vows, or maybe some of you need to have like another honeymoon. You know, maybe it's an anniversary or something like that that's coming up, and maybe it's just a really good time and you need that. You know what I mean? Like you need, and maybe, I mean, that's an annual thing, which is beautiful. When is your anniversary? But I would say make sure you're going and hanging out with your friends also. Okay? Like do your own independent thing, like because I heard they love who you are. I'm also seeing like Halloween here. And then we have the card of be patient. So especially if you have kids, remember, you know, well, I heard again, start each day as if it is new, right? I mean, sometimes we got to look at life like that. Like, we never know how long we have with a person or with anything, really. So, in that sense, why see love each and every day as if it is the first day, you know? You don't have to look at it like, this could be my last day. It's just like, no, look at it as if it's the first day. You know, maybe it's when you met each other. And because I do feel like some of you had a lover. Okay, you know what, something else is like, this is very romantic, right? This is so romantic. Like a gondola in Italy, like that's a pretty romantic place, you know? So maybe for some of you, you need more outings, or that may be where you meet a person. I'd also say some of you, there's something about music. Maybe some people like boats, or they like to dress up, or it's kind of like, how I heard, what kind of romantic are you? Okay. Let's see. We did Libra, Pisces, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Capricorn, Sagittarius. Let's do Aquarius. Aquarius, what's up with your romance? It's not an emergency. Okay. So there's some kind of good news in ways of romance. This one? Nope. This one? Yep. Give yourself the best. Okay. Oh, someone's so happy about something. Like some kind of news. They're so happy about something. Someone receives like... It's like someone was expecting the worst in one way. There was something where they were like expecting the worst, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, no, this turned out so good. This turned out so good. And they're actually like really proud of themselves for how it happened. In ways of romance too, like some of you may have not been feeling very good about romance in some way or another. I don't know when this was. It could have been, you know, how do I explain it? Well, it's not an emergency. This card is about not taking something like too seriously, meaning like worst case scenario. But it's being realistic about it, right? It's just like, okay, well, if we're gonna do this, then that, I mean, we're smiling about it. So I'd say that if you're dating someone right now, I'd stick with it. It's pretty awesome. And somebody's birthday is also really important. A person taking care of themselves also really helps. Sag also received, okay, we have reclaim your art and love your body. I almost feel like, again, someone wasn't feeling very well about something. And now they are. Yeah, it's like they got all their energy back. Like they're feeling a lot more confident about it. That's good. You know, sometimes in romance, like, or again, even if you're in a long-term relationship here, let's take it as if you're involved. This could be where, again, take a breather. Oh, it's about resting. It's feeling comfortable with someone. It's trusting someone. You know, sometimes when we have a little scare about something, then all of a sudden, like we get worried. We become worried about it. And then all of a sudden we realize it was no big deal. That's kind of it. I would also say, I know this is odd, but for you particularly, I would take care of your health. And for some of you, I know this isn't very romantic. You're getting the thing like Libra a little bit more in this practical nature. It's kind of like taking care of your body, like, because some of you could be worrying about something, again, that you don't need to be worrying about. Maybe it's about letting other people really know, like, what's going on with you. You know what I mean? Like, let's see. Aquarius, what's this about? Aquarius. There's like a whole new energy here. There's a whole new energy. So, okay, let's say you are single. Some of you, for instance, are like, if you're single, you're kind of like, well, you know, a lot of you are my elders here. And maybe one of those things where, like, someone's like, well, I have, like, a health issue. Like, or I'm overweight, like that love your body thing, right? It's kind of like, well, or I'm getting older, or I'm wrinkled, or whatever. It's just like, no, don't. I heard that. Nope. Sag said it. Love yourself. Start each new day. Like, love who you are and what you're connecting to. And, you know, maybe for some of you, what you need is actually some creative energy. Like your own, again, I see your own hobbies or something like that, right? And if you do have a partner and you were worried about their health in some kind of way, or again, the health of something, it's not, again, it's not an emergency. This word, let's look at give yourself the best. This is also someone who remembers a lot. Like they remember the good times. They're very positive. Like it's almost like if someone starts to worry about something, you'll know who your person is because they're pretty chill about things. They're like, no, babe, remember when, you know, we were worried about this or you were worried about that and it worked out fine. It's like this person will ease your mind. You know what I mean? They know what your favorite, like, cake is. They know, like, what you're scared of. They know, like, they help you to, like, they know what you need. Do you know what I mean? They know what you need. And I heard again, they put your mind at ease. Because maybe some of you were just worried about romance in general. Again, you're like, whatever. And then all of a sudden, it's like, no, I keep singing. It's like, I got good news. And they're so... And you know what? I would also say, if for some reason you don't like your body, you feel overweight, you're not in a healthy place or something, like... some way that you're judging yourself, then this would be where you take care of yourself, you know? Maybe you do want to check in with your vitamins and minerals and like what would make your body feel more confident, you know? Or maybe some of you need to change your diet or get a little exercise or whatever. Not that you're trying to change who you are, but so that you feel more confident in the situation. You know what I mean? Like, maybe, you know, maybe for some reason someone, I don't know, like, you know, when you care for yourself, and I heard, and you're ready for the day, then, you know, that, you put in some extra. And actually, you know what? This is also the person, you know, you'll know that this is your person because, again, they're so supportive. And they're really, like, how do I explain it? It's like when you need something, like, again, they take care of you. And you, for instance, the other also is just like, they're so appreciative. They're like, again, like, oh, I made your favorite cake. Like, I know you love this. Like, and this is, you know, this is a thank you for, you know, for this commitment. Like, I'm so grateful for you. You know, that kind of energy, Aquarius. Alright. I think I have to split this up. Just a minute. Alright, we're back. So, we did Libra, Pisces, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Capricorn, Sag, Aquarius, Virgo. Let's do Virgo. Let's see what's up with your romance, Virgo. You're actually very romantic, aren't you? When you finally let your guard down. You're such a giver. You're practically romantic, though, aren't you? Like, you always know what your partner needs. You know how they love their coffee. You know when they take a poop. You know how, like, how they make the bed. Like, how they like their shirts folded. Like that's when you love someone. It's like, you know all their little bits so you can help them. right? Make their life easier. Let's see your romantic energy, Virgo. Oh, it's so sweet, the energy that we just see the light. Look at these two people flying in the stars. That's awesome. So Spirit gave you, either has given you, let's see the second one. Say thank you. Here's another couple. Oh my God. Look at this person coming home from work and the other person is like, hey baby. It's like, oh my God, someone gave someone flowers. There's something important about that. Flowers. Hold on. I gotta stretch. Oh. I heard someone say, like, I saw someone, like, hugging. This is, like, morning hugs. It's, like, going off to work, coming home from work. It's really sweet. Maybe you see them in your dreams. Okay, Virgo, what's going on with your... Let's try to kick this up a little bit. I heard something's getting spicier, a little spicier. There's a little more heat in something. I heard people laughing. Good. Good, Virgo. You never want to be, when you get too serious. Oh, look at that. Oh, I love it. I'll be right back. My sweetheart just came home. It was awesome. So suiting. Let's kick off our boots, huh? Let's kick off our shoes. We're working so hard all day. Alright, so might as well be comfy. So Virgo, let's see what's up here. See the light and say thank you. Well, apparently, let's take this in a few different layers. Let's see. You know, if you're single, then what this shows me is that your dreams are showing you your person. That Spirit, some way, somehow, is like aligning you with your person. And maybe there's some kind of like communication in the evenings, some way, somehow. And in that sense, if you haven't found your person yet, this is kind of like saying thank you. Like, even before they arrive. And I would also say, like, what kind of person do you want? You know, like, you know, maybe for some of you, this is also, let's stick on the single, because I know a lot of Virgos are single, because you do that. You go in the zone and you're like, I'm cool by myself, just like Libra, right? Like, you can be alone. But if you stay alone too long, then you get stuck there because you're perfectly contented with your books on top of the mountain, right? You can just deal with it, and you can choose that if you want to. It's up to you, but I don't want you to restrict yourself from connection because, well, like we've been talking about for a few years, like you were meant to come down off the mountain, right? And share your love and your light with others because other people appreciate that and they appreciate you. I would also say I would prep, like in ways of feng shui, they usually say that you should have your bed so that two people, like you never want to put your bed up against the wall. You want to have it so that in ways of partnership, there's a space for each person. I would also make space in your home for it. You know, maybe you clean out a closet or a part of the closet, depending on what you have. Keep a drawer empty for their things. Like, leave room for them to be there. Also, probably imagine, right? Pisces is your opposite. Use your imagination to what, you know, kind of relationships, like when you go to bed, like pretend there's another person laying next to you and say goodnight. You know, like when you're in the morning or people coming home after work, it's just like greet your spouse, your person, as if they are there, even if they're not there yet. And be so thankful for that. Now, for those of you who are involved with someone, I really feel like this is something where a person is just like, oh my God, thank you for this person. Thank you so much for this person. It's like a match made in heaven is what I'm seeing with this. I'd also say you'll know, okay, you love astrology. I feel like, so in Vedic astrology, the chart called the Navamsha is your spousal chart, and your 12th house will rule over your sleep with them, so that may give you an indication to who your person is. Yeah, if you're already involved, this is a really positive energy too. If you're already connected with someone, you already live with someone. If you are just dating and like say you're just like going on dates, I would say you'll be living together in the future. If you already live and sleep together and all of that is connected, then this is showing me some really beautiful positive energy around a relationship. And I would say it would be appreciating your spouse, you know, like appreciating for what they do, them appreciating what you do. This is also like having dinner together. It is going to bed at the same time. Morning routines may be a little different, but I see evening routines being similar. I feel like there's a little bit of a different work schedule, which is kind of cool because it shows that some of you your person is a musician, like a singer or a musician or something in ways of the creative arts like that. They're like an external expression of creation like that. They also allow you to like, you'll know your person because you just feel so darn comfortable with them. Do you know what I mean? Like, somebody else had this don't take offense card. It's like, maybe it's Gemini. This is definitely people doing a lot together, too. Like, you enjoy each other's company. Do you know what I mean? Like, you don't tire of the other person. But it's also because each person, like... How do I explain it? Where you have Rise and Shine and then the Sing card. Like, maybe they like hum a lot or like talk to themselves a little bit. Like, you'll know that way. I'd also say they're a really giving person, like super considerate, like really thankful for your hard work. Like, hey Sumi, like, it's like without a person even asking, like another person just understands. Do you know what I mean? Beautiful. Okay. Let's move ahead. Who's next? We did Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces. Did Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo. Let's do Leo. Leo, what's up with your romance right now? Reclaim your art. So maybe you also have a musician or music is important in ways of your romance, and give more. So your person is very inspiring and supportive to your creativeness. Like, however you're creative, they're like, oh my god, like, yeah, do that. Like, I don't know if it's, I didn't know you were good at that. Oh my God, you are. Like, this isn't, why don't you do that? Like, they're very, again, like supportive in this energy. Like, they want to help you succeed. They really want to help you. I guess you'll know your person that way, is where they like admire you and inspire you. And you can relax around them. Okay. Interesting. I also feel like somebody here, like, well, I heard knows what another person needs. They respect people's boundaries also. Let's see. I got a bug bite. Okay, let's look at it in a few different ways. Say you're single. Your hobbies and like what you do, what you like to do, is going to put you in the right position for you to receive something that is what you need. Like the person you're meant to be with, if you will be something that, like, it's like when you're going down your path independently and feel comfortable with that and are doing your own thing, is when you actually find more of, like, again, what is suiting to you. It's like they're the same kind of animal too, you know. They also, again, they inspire you to, like, I don't know if this is, maybe you'll know by, like, you'll want to pick up old projects. Like, when you're around them, it's like, maybe you're sharing, like say you're in a space and they're like, you're talking about something, and then they're like, oh yeah, like, I really like the violin, for instance, and they're like, oh, I actually used to play violin. I have this one from high school or whatever, and it's like all of a sudden it, like, again, inspires a person to be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna pick that up again. Like, I'm gonna put energy into that. It again, I just keep seeing the word inspiring. Cool. And it really, this is a person too that, like, makes you want to give, and they help you to see things in, like, different ways. And I just keep seeing it. It's like they're so inspiring. They're so inspiring. Cool. Just wait. Let's keep dancing. Yeah, more music. Let's see. If you are involved, I feel like paying attention again to your own it's like the other person is so inspiring that it inspires a person to be more of themselves. And there's independent energy here, like, yeah, oh, what are you doing? And be like, oh, they're also, like, clean. Like, you inspire each other to clean up things and, like, rearrange. It like, puts new energy into it. It's really awesome. And this is such a this is a person that really helps you out too. Like, and I guess because a squirrel generally knows how to get its own, squirrel gets the nut or whatever, it's like, I suppose a little bit of it, if you are a super independent person, because you're similar, it may almost feel like, well, I could go get my own nut. But they may be like, oh, well, I knew that you were going to do that because I would do that. And here, you want some of mine? It, like, they make life easier. and more inspiring. I guess you'll know that. Like, if it's ever complicated, or like you feel like your art is blocked, or like if you get all jammed up in something, then you're giving too much to the wrong person. Okay? And that may be one of those things where some of you, if you're sticking with something that doesn't inspire you, where the give and take is not fair, then that is not the person for you. Interesting. Let's see if I see anything else. They like the same kind of music as you too. Like, that's important. They like the same kind of music, and they also like eat similar food, or they enjoy the same kind of nature that you do. You know what I mean? Like, they like kind of doing the same things. I would also say this is one of those things where this would be a person where you can do things together, and again, you have a lot in common, but you also, there's something about it where, like, again, they inspire you to do your own thing, and I guess they would be kind of independent in a certain sense. Again, they have their own hobbies, they have their own life, all of this, and again, I guess if you are single, or again, say you're dating, but you, for some reason, because this is pretty lighthearted to me, this feels lighthearted. It's not like this couldn't be long term, and if this is like where a relationship never gets to this like crazy serious level where it's uncomfortable. It's kind of like, again, it's like lighthearted. It's almost like this is a strong friendship too. Oh, I see. It's a wicked strong friendship. Like, this would be like your best friend, you know, or one of, like, somebody that you would be like, yeah, this is, even if you weren't dating them, this would be your friend. And actually, maybe that's a part of it too, is maybe you would be friends and be in the same circle for some certain amount of time, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wait, you want that too, and then it's like you are on the same page, and then it goes, let's see where that goes. Well, you ended up with let go and flow, which is a person on a swing that's like, oh my god, this is the best, this is so enjoyable. This is a really fun, okay, here we go, I got it. Remember, Leo, you will know if you, especially with romance, but anything in life, but really we're talking about romance, you will know whether it's your person if you have fun with it. It's not like things don't get a little serious sometimes, or there aren't conversations to be had or whatever, but really, like, it should inspire you. It would be a relationship that feels fun. It would be a relationship that's easy. It's like a friendship, right? And that would probably need to be the foundation, you know? Again, you have to have something in common that's important. And if you are, it's just single and in friend zone, I guess you're pretty contented with that, and your friendships, for instance, would, you know, be the stronghold here, and you probably would meet them through that circle anyway. Okay. Let's see. Who do we have left? I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, we have the 2 Mars left. That's interesting. Okay. Aries or Scorpio? Aries. Let's see Aries for romance. Aries for romance. Okay, we have reach out. Aries. Someone's a really good dad. Or like a, someone loves kids. They're really good around kids. Take bite-sized steps. Interesting energy. Hold on a second. Well, some of you, I guess there's an opportunity. This is about romance, right? Some of you have an opportunity, or an opportunity has been or will be presented to do something that you wanted to do before, but it wasn't quite the right time. Some of you felt small too for a while. I don't know when this was, but some of you felt small. And like someone needed some kind of help. And because they reached out, they received some kind of help. It's like they decided to walk a new path. And because of that, now there's all this support. Someone is so kind here. And I do feel like, again, they're really good with this card. It's like it's showing me like they're really good with children, so they're gentle. Someone's gentle here and very patient. Someone's gentle and very patient. I guess you'll know, well, there's a lot of layers here. Let's keep going. Someone's very gentle and patient. They can like pick up on things. Like intuitively. Like even if, oh, okay. In ways of romance, you'll know your person because you can like feel each other from far away. And like, you know, you can rely on them. You know that they're not trying to hurt you. You know that they're also like, they kind of go against the grain a little bit in ways of society. It's not like they're trying to be, like, it's not that they're rebellious, meaning like chaotic, or they're not into chaos. It's more like they recognize they're different in some kind of way. Maybe there's something about Aquarius with them. And you know what? They know what it feels like to feel small also. And it's like they figured out this, like, okay, well, if I do this, it does that. And if I do this, well, then it does that. It's like they understand the responsibility of choice. They understand what conscious choice is and how that creates reality. And so I guess they're also a very good decision maker. Would be helpful. And I suppose since this is also your reading, this would be where they also really admire and feel so lucky to have you in their life as a person on their team. Where they're like, oh my God, I am so glad that I am creating with this person. And it could be for some of you, because I know we'll touch on like singlehood, togetherness, etc., etc. But I feel like for some of you, there could have been something where like maybe someone decided to no longer walk the way they were walking before, like who they were walking with. Maybe they've let go of a lot of people in their life, you know, or at very least understood that like, okay, well, if I want to do this, then I gotta do that. And again, this consciousness of choice, what that actually did was, because part of this, and I know it's a little trippy, but part of this has to do with like inner child kind of energy too, meaning what does a child need? Nurture, love, support, honesty, security, like safety. This part of a person, this little, because children also like to have fun, right? They're not afraid. This would be a person that, you know, again, you can trust, and they trust you. That is huge. Now, I suppose if you are have had a lot of issues with trust, whoever in the equation has had a lot of issues with trust, then this would be taking small steps in ways of building that trust, and it may have taken a long time to get here. But now there's like open arms, like, and someone understands the responsibility of a relationship too. And like what, like kind of like what fun is. Interesting. You know, this also reminds me of this lecture I listened to. Hold on a second. What are we talking about? Well, I heard what a person thinks about comes true. Listen to the music. Music's been pretty strong in this. Maybe music is important. Connect with your soul family. Like, your friends like them. Like, you like their friends. Like, the circle is really solid. I feel like they're also, like, somebody here is a very patient person, and the way people give love to is like reciprocal. Because maybe a person was trying to like somebody might have been trying to like satisfy someone else in the past, like, oh, I have to be this to have that, and they finally let go of that, and they're like, no, I just have to be me, like honest with myself. Now, what else do I see? Let's say you're married. I just saw those words. If you're married, say you have kids, things like that, especially a little one, then I actually see that this is a really awesome parent. Like, this is a good person to have kids with. It could be, some of you, there could be a blended family. But I feel like if you're, say you're younger and you're wanting to have a family, you're wanting to create a family. Let's back up a little. Let's say we got to back up. We just went from single to say you're wanting to create a family with someone, then pay attention to the way that they deal with children. Pay attention to their patience, to how they talk about their parents, who they hang out, right? You know a person by who they hang out with, and their relationships with other people. And I would take bite-sized steps in relation to building with that. Interesting energy. I feel like regardless, you could be like you could be 40, you could be in your, whatever. What is this? You could be in your 70s. The point is if you're going to date somebody, whoever you're going to be involved with, like, look at them as if they were a parent. Would you have children? Would you have children with this person? Do you know what I mean? Could you imagine yourself married? And like long, you know, because if we take the essence of having a child with someone, that's like a lifelong commitment, right? You're connected to them for the rest of your life. So this relationship, obviously, is something in ways of romance wants something long term. They want to build and grow and create something with this other person. That could also be part of how you realize what's going on in your romance, is that you do want to create with them long term. You know, and you have similar life goals, the way you're looking at it. And in that sense, I would say, whether you're dating or whether let's say you're dating, right? That's that stage. Then you want to take small steps in making that happen. I wouldn't do any, well, how to explain it? Well, this is a very, again, responsible person. You'll know who you're supposed to create with or not by their work ethic also, and how they view their responsibilities. Do you know what I mean? Not that they're always serious all the time, because they should be able to, we talked about this a long time ago. You definitely want to be able to relax around this person, trust this person, and they trust you to be alone. You know what I mean? Because all fire needs their independent energy. And you're not afraid of them. You're not afraid they're going to, like, pop off. You're not afraid that they're going to judge you. Here's that big, small energy again, too, right? You want to be, you'll know what it is when you're on the same page, right? And I heard they respect and love who you are. Okay. Last but not least, let's do Scorpio. Scorpio for romance. Just a second. Okay, thank you very much. Let's see Scorpio for romance. We have decorate. Interesting. And take a breather. Hey, Foggy. So let's touch on a few different examples. Decorate and take a breather. So this has to do with home for some of you. I just looked up the word detox. Now, home to me is always Cancerian energy. It's feeling. So there could be some cleaning in the home that needs to happen. I see this as physically. Okay, let's take this in a few different layers. Number one, if you're single. Someone else talked about this, but you want to make sure that you have space for another person. Okay? I saw the word emulate, and then we have love your body. So this would be loving yourself, right? You and yourself, right? Your relationships do not define, well, you have to love yourself. You got to clean up your own mess, right? And I know, Scorpio energy, it's hard sometimes to trust. But we talked about this a long time ago. I trust you. We have to trust ourselves. Then we can trust that other people will be okay. Right? We can't control other people. We're not... And call your spirit home. Here's another home energy. So some of you, your romance is complicated to some extent because someone may be projecting energy into other people that are outside of you. Interesting. Let's redecorate for a second. Let's see. Okay. This is, the spirit is a sensitive light body and is influenced by the environment, home, right? Let's read that again. The spirit, your spirit, is a sensitive light body and is influenced by its environment, internally, externally, any environment it finds itself within. Dreary, dark, messy, cluttered, unclean surroundings send the spirit out the door and invite the goblins and trolls of negativity to move in and to camp out in the corners. Sounds very scorpionic. I wouldn't have thought this for this decorate card. Interesting. It says, it's time to set this right. Open the blinds, clear the decks, paint the walls, change the light bulbs, decorate the atmosphere where you live. Make your environment a proper home for your spirit. Your spirit must dwell in a cheerful and festive place, filled with color and live plants, fresh flowers, clean windows, and a bright light. Your spirit is a holy guest in your body and must be treated as royalty. You wouldn't disrespect visitors. What is this? You wouldn't disrespect visitors with an unwelcoming environment or expect them to dwell in your mess. And you shouldn't disrespect your spirit by giving it less than the tranquil setting it deserves. Take the time to create a festive and bright atmosphere for your spirit. Be happy to welcome it home. Call your spirit home. I feel like some of you that are single, this is really, really big here. Right? Here we go. Open. What did this say? Open the blinds. Right? Paint the walls. Here we go. Be happy to welcome this energy home. Give it the proper surroundings and put out the best you have to receive it. And I feel like that's what some of you, if we're talking about singlehood, that's definitely a part of it. If some of you where this is like, because I almost saw like empty nest syndrome. I know a lot of you are my elders here. You have grandchildren, your kids are grown, etc. If you're in that stage and like, remember that that is a gracious gift, that you did such a good job raising your children. They're grown, have their own children, whatever, and now you get a break. You know, like, take that rest. Enjoy that peace. Maybe some of you, it's like, you know, taking your children's room and turning it into your sewing room. You know, something like this, where it's kind of like a little bit of a shift. It could also be where some of you, if you are involved, this could be where you're trying to build, this home energy is really strong. So like, I don't know if some of you are trying to build a home or you're trying to build a life together. You know, it could be redecorating the home could also help your relationship, you know, change things around a little bit. A little bit of rearrangement could also be helpful in, you know, remember with Scorpio energy, you got to touch things to make them be alive. And I know we've talked about this before, but like, saying you're sorry to yourself, saying you're sorry to other people, that really helps in ways of receiving love, you know. And I guess once that home space is like, the energy we were just talking about was all good, then you can say yes. And then, look at these two couples. You know, like, interesting. So I heard, try not to look to what you are missing. I heard, thank God for what you have. Okay. All right. This was a long reading. I hope this was helpful. Oh, actually, before we close it out, let's do Libra one more time, because theirs was kind of like holding that collective energy, and I feel like Libra energy needs to also be like, understand its own independence in ways of love, and see that as something that they deserve also. Let's see Libra for romance. Libra. Hold on. Can't rush it, you know. It's because I'm excited. I feel excited. Have you been practicing your hugging? There we go. Speak with love. Beautiful. Maybe a boat ride's important. Something on the water. Let's see. This is a really sweet date. Fill the well. Wow. Oh, someone finally feels accepted. Good. Good. Let's see fill the well. Scorpio talked about that well for a long time, cleaning it all up, right? You know, the card that comes after this is Dare to Be Happy. Let's actually read that. So, you speak with love, then you fill the well, then we have this. You're beginning to feel the vibration of joy. This is a sign that your spirit is finally breaking free of the prison of the ego, and you're reconnecting with your true divine nature. Your next challenge is to be openly happy, even when those around you are not, or don't readily appreciate or even encourage your joy. The ego is intimidated by this emotion because it has no power in that frequency. It prefers to keep people in pain or worried about what other people think. When you break free of its grip, it will try to lure you back by suggesting your joy is false or temporary, or worse, that you'll lose it. So there's no reason to bother in that. So there's no reason to bother in the first place. So stand tall in your joy. For spirit and the world know that there's another option. Share your joy, but be willing to stand in it alone too. And I feel like this whole thing really has a lot to do with, like, you know, when you're really happy, but then say, like, the world is having a hard time. Well, in that sense, make sure you're shaking off other people's energy too. Okay? And that you are celebrating you and your soul, family connections, you know, your friendships, things like that. You'll also know who your person is by the way that they speak. I feel like they wouldn't cuss that much. They're very hard worker. They're like willing to help you. They don't judge you for your past either. They really, again, they celebrate you. And I would say that they don't really sweat the small stuff, which is super important. I feel like they're kind and courteous. They also do small gestures that are kind of old-fashioned a little bit. You know, they help you with like the little things, so that you can feel more free to relax. You can like relax around them because you trust them, right? You don't hope that they'll do the right thing, they just do, right? Okay. Thank God. Alright, that's that. You take care of yourselves, and I hope this was helpful. I'll talk to you next time.